Survivor time. Welcome to the St. Louis Syndicate. I'm Nate. He's Brandon. And we're here to talk about Survivor. Brandon, your key survivor is still alive. And we're here to talk about who the pick should be this week and how close a call Brandon had last week. Brandon, who'd you have last week?
At Buffalo.
Buffalo.
It was stressful. After I
Well,
came on here and went, oh, Baltimore, I'm gonna lay the points. I'm gonna take them in Survivor. Let's fire on all. And then I chickened out, and I made them a low pick in my confidence league. And then I went with Buffalo and almost got to watch that get flushed away.
oh, but you got lucky.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, if you'd have taken any of our advice, other than New Orleans, I mean, looking at this, the top plays, we were definitely not on New Orleans, even though that we knew
no,
Carolina was no good. The rest of them took care of business. Kansas City, Baltimore dominated. Philly handled. Cincinnati, Buffalo did win barely. Minnesota and Washington. So above the favorites, New Orleans the only one that didn't cover. So more than likely, everybody in your league moved on in some form or fashion. Would be my guess.
funny enough, like in my non elimination Survivor. Um, we had four people take a loss.
Wow.
Two people in New
Wow.
Orleans. One crazy person took Cleveland and and then Houston.
You know
Which
that
wasn't
might
horrible, but
that might be a little bit of fade the Carolina play there too.
yeah.
We
And
talked about
look,
that
I
last
get
week.
it. It's just it's rough to when you're looking at New Orleans and they were 7.5 point favorites and they're
Yeah.
not any good. You start going like, there's a lot of variance at the tails. And if we're betting on tails, you don't want to do it with Derek Carr and Dennis Allen.
You don't have to worry about that anymore. It's only Derek
You
Carr
do
now.
not. You do not.
Dennis Allen is no longer employed, and
Going to be watching from his house this week.
he has the dubious title of being fired from two different teams with the same quarterback.
Man, that's a fun stat. I
How does
hadn't
that
really
make?
thought about that.
Yeah, how does that make?
That's fantastic. I
I
love
heard that
that.
earlier this week, and I laughed out loud. LOL.
Yeah.
So hey, looking at our picks this week, man, the way the schedule lays out, I went ahead and when we built this graphic, took a snapshot from our team ranking site that we utilize to look at this and give us some percentages. And ultimately, when you take a look at it, Philly, Kansas City, a couple of the usual favorites are right there. Baltimore on the page, San Francisco against Tampa Bay, and Chicago. Before I get to your pick, I would say that as a Cowboys fan, the Philadelphia pick is a slam dunk. With
I like this reverse jinx you're doing.
no Dak, yeah, I'm trying anything. We have no Dak Prescott. We have a hobbled Micah Parsons. CD Lamb has one arm, and I think the Phillies are going to beat the dog shit out of them. Just saying. That being
Well,
said,
if they'd take that microphone away from Nick Sirianni, I'd feel much better about that.
well, that's probably true too. So, Kansas City should handle business against Denver. Maybe you don't want to burn them. They seem to have some good matchups in the coming weeks. I'm going to skip to Chicago real quick. If you haven't played with Chicago and if you are risky and want to play with a rookie quarterback, New England coming to town may not be a bad idea unless Drake May decides to run around for 15 minutes and throw up a flying fluke pass and beat you. That would be,
That's what's keeping me away from them.
yeah, you just never know what that guy's going to do.
New
So,
England is just going to be a weird problem for the rest of the year
yeah,
because their team is not good, but that dude is not afraid to whip the ball around.
yeah, he's going to cause problems somewhere.
Yeah.
Whether it's backdoor covers, whether it's busting up some survivors, he's
Hmm.
going to be one of those guys. So,
Yeah.
Brandon, so who are you focused on? You can kind of see the teams that are out here.
I'm fairly certain that it's going to be the Chargers. I know I say that every week. I don't know what happens between today and Sunday, but um,
So that means he's probably on Kansas City. Um,
oh, I do. I have pretty stringent rules that should keep me away from Kansas City.
okay.
Um, because I'd like to stay out of division if I can. Unfortunately, like I am going to go back on that week 13 because that's probably where I'm playing KC. I think Denver is still like trying, playing hard.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
they got toppled last week, but I mean they just ran into a buzzsaw. Like, what are you going to do? And you know, I just the Chargers seem to have figured something out. In Tennessee, man, everybody just goes like, "Oh, I mean, their defense, was fine, and it's kind of carrying them." And then I don't know, you watch a play, and you just go like, "I don't know how any of this is working." Like,
They're not good.
it's like a good college team or something. Like, you're just like, "Who are these people? Why are they playing here?" Like, who who decided to cut them a paycheck? Like, yeah,
Man,
I don't know.
shouldn't some of these guys be in
So
Alabama or?
I'm gonna trust that Harbaugh is gonna sit at home this week and get Tennessee, and they should. The Chargers famously no home field advantage.
Hmm.
Um, but like, how many Tennessee fans could there be? You
Nah.
think you think SoFi is gonna fill up with a bunch of dudes that are into Tennessee?
No,
Like,
this is probably the highest Charger fan base that you'll see
yeah,
all season. I mean,
that's what I'm thinking. So I think this is a unique position to take a team that isn't great, but has um, a consistent thing that they're going to try to do and point them in the direction of a team that is not disciplined and let them go to work.
yeah, completely see that. All right, so Brandon is tentatively um, on the Chargers.
Yeah.
Just in case you're really looking for something other than what we've posted, Minnesota does have Jacksonville. It is at Jacksonville, which is always cause for concern when you travel. But Jacksonville is not really good this year, and I think Minnesota should take care of business. New Orleans has Atlanta coming to town. I think with the loss of Dennis Allen this week, you could have the coach bounce back. But Atlanta should take care of business within the division and continue to drive towards winning that division overall. I think ultimately, I agree with the Charger play. I think that probably makes the most sense as the number one on the board.
Yeah. Watch out. Atlanta should wipe the floor with New Orleans, but
They should, but
watch out for that dead cat bounce.
yeah,
You get that first game off a fired coach, and usually it either goes exceedingly well or like the wheel just completely come off.
yeah,
So I- I'm leaning more the wheels keep completely come off, especially since Olave, I guess, is going to be watching the game from a hospital bed somewhere.
and Lattimore is in Washington.
Yeah. So yeah, like that should work out all right, but it always makes me real itchy start getting in those fired coaches.
Yep, totally agree. Well, hey, that's your survivor picks. Good luck, guys. I'm Nate. He's Brandon. Hopefully, you guys advance one more week.
Good luck.